Kia ora, Scorpio. This is your reading for eclipse time, this great solar eclipse time. So let's get stuck into it here. I'm trying to keep the readings a little bit shorter. Let's see how it goes. Check out any titles that stand out. Do look at your ascendant and your moon as well, if you know what they're in, Scorpio. And what else? Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate it. On this channel, we always go through and clarify. So I've pulled a rock, mineral, and crystal card for you that you can take with you during the week. So let's get into it. The day has gone very fast, it seems. It feels like. We've got some common cards that have been coming up for a lot of the readings. It usually works that way in this game, you know. So let's see what's on the storyboard. We've got that rock, mineral, crystal. We come out here, Scorpio, with a lovely collection of cards, I must say. There has been some level of self-limitation. Now, it's not unusual to say that, is it? To think it. We always have some self-limitations, don't we? Sometimes they're more prominent than others. They can cover a wide range of areas. They always seem to trip us up at some point. We have the Eight of Swords here, which is one of those cards which indicates, in a nutshell, self-limitation. Now, if you've overcome something of recently, you may well have, because the next card up is the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory, and others seeing that in you, others seeing your value, which is nice, Scorpio, isn't it? And you see that. You see your value actually reflected back at you in the Six of Wands. So it's a nice card, always a success, always a victorious card. The next card we have, as I said, we always go through and clarify, the Four of Discs. So we're in a pretty secure position. We're in a stable position here. You know, all the fours really are about stability. And this being the Four of Discs of the earthly realms, well, it really is. It's like a semi-fortress. There's one way in and one way out. And that route is through Malkut, is through that which is like the fruition, the fruit on the tree. It's the earth. We see it. We didn't see the necessarily the seed that grew the tree, that produced the fruit, right? But we see the fruit. So it's like double physical, double earth. And so it provides us, in the Four of Discs, we have a lot of security here. But we have security, but there's not a hell of a lot of movement, or the movement that exists in this card is limited. Limitation. So there's something about this, you know, someone maybe overcoming, overcoming some things on numerous levels all at once. I guess as we veer into this last card here, the Ace of Cups, which is a gift, and we give it form, and it really is a gift to be recognised. What was I saying? When we see this ace here at the end, you know, there's a lot of, you've got a lot of, I would say, expansive sort of emotional wealth, or more so resources at your fingertips here. It's something to recognize, and it's something, if there are some limitations that you're trying to sort out, trying to figure out here within yourself. It is a process, isn't it? But remember, you've got a lot of that, like love power at your fingertips, Scorpio. So let's just love generator, love power. How could you say an expansive arsenal of love? I like that. To utilize. Remember to save some for yourself, Scorpio. Right. Not even that, but, start with the self, I guess. So let's look at the Eight of Swords for Scorpio. There's this limitations, self-limitations card. We know that it is that. Now, there's a wise person once said, I wish I could think of the quote, but something about, I don't know why, something, a wise man once said, blah, blah, blah. We've got the Six of Discs here. So we see you're on this flow, it's like, but there's something, I do feel that the limitation, there's a limitation here. It's not something that everyone sees, Scorpio. It's not something everyone's aware of that's around you, because they see you as a quite a victorious, valuable person. We've got the Six of Discs here. This is about generosity and the free flow of that. It's a deep purse. It's a deep purse, and it's a deep level of feeling and generosity. And it's a very interesting path, because what, it's not a trade-off here. You know that what you give forward out there, pass on, comes back to you, because you see it. You actually see it. Interesting. With that, we have the Eight coming out again, the Eight of Swords. This limitation, it's more to do with, I would suggest, Scorpio, looking at the storyline, it's more to do with the attitude towards yourself. Because it seems that people, it's like, oh, someone's so amazing, like people are saying, oh, God, they're so amazing, aren't they? They're so incredible towards this other person. And to all intents and purposes, yeah, they're amazing, everything's fabulous. But internally, they don't feel that themselves. This is what it's seemingly suggesting. Let's just look at that. Six of Wands, please. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. We get the Queen of Wands. Going and getting what you want. Knowing, that you can. Because this is the Queen of Fire. It's about shining it out there. It's about putting it out there. It's about going and getting what you want. We have the Three of Wands. We're on this path that we see the wand here sort of behind the character. The third wand, or the ace. Which one? Propelled by the ace. This is a self-fueling individual. Sounds like you, Scorpio? And I mean that in terms of, you know, the wind. You're generating the wind in your sails all the time. It's just, it's like a, it's pretty amazing. Queen of Swords. Queen of Discernment. Discernment. Clarity. Mental acumen. And certainly does not suffer fools. Is there something about, is there something, because this is a Scorpio who's a powerhouse, is what I see this reading to be, a powerhouse. And yet there's something here that's getting to the, can't quite get to the, you know what I'm saying? Can't quite get to the point. Scorpio, it's interesting. We have the Page of Cups, an offering, an emotional offering. Small, but nevertheless, it is an offering. Is it enough? Oh, I'm not sure. Look, this is an interesting reading. I'm just looking at the Four of Discs for Scorpio, please. It's like, we've got the Knight of Wands, right? Compulsive, no rumination. It's just like, which is good. I mean, it's spontaneous, isn't it? But it's like this blast. There's an unease here. There's a Scorpio who's just like a powerhouse, but there's some little something further in here, further in there, in here, in you, and whoever it is that you're dealing with, Scorpio. There's just something missing. It's quite odd. And yet there's everything here, but there's just some little thing that's missing. Is it to do with relationship? Is it to do with what? It's quite unusual. So that one came out twice. We've got, I'm talking now, King of Pentacles, reliable, benevolent, generally speaking. Reliable. Looks after, make sure everyone's looked after, you know. He can put his need to express his needs aside for the sake of others. This knight can't. He's not wired like that. But with the King of Pentacles, the King of Discs, we have the Four of Swords. Now, maybe, Scorpio, whatever's going on in this reading, because it's quite confusing, I'll be honest. I think what could be utilised very effectively is just to make sure that you rest as often as you need to. There's just something in here that it's like, it's not so much that it's a busy reading, it's that there's just something missing. Everything's here, but there's just some kind of intrinsic thing missing. It's really strange. So with the Four of Swords, we get to rest in our peace, in our chamber of peace. And in doing that, we get a lot of information and ideas, and we make space for that in rest mode. And it's quite necessary sometimes when things get a bit much. Ace of Cups at the end here. please, for Scorpio. What is this thing that's missing? There's something small. Something small. Excuse me. It's something small. We get a card of assessment coming out with the Ace of Cups. How do we choose to express a gift like the Ace of Cups? How do we choose to express something like that? We give it form. It's hard, because it's an energy. We give it form. We need to see it when it's there, when it's around us. We get the Seven of Discs. Now we're assessing this is like an energetic assessment as much as looking at the farmer's land and saying, well, you worked pretty hard, but you only got a few Brussels sprouts out of it. It's an energetic assessment. What are you giving out? And what do you receive from that? There's a fine line, isn't it? Depletion. We can take a few knocks here and there. Generally speaking, if we're putting efforts into certain areas, whatever, we get something back from it. We weigh up whether it's worth it or not. There's something in this that's about a level of generosity and yet a level of limitation, like a limitation to express, or a limitation to freely give, a limitation to give freely. Is it fear? I mean, because it's like a reading where everyone, Scorpio, like whether it's you or someone else in your life, everyone thinks they're wonderful, and they are, but they don't kind of feel that themselves somehow. Or they're giving out too much, they feel depleted, but no one really knows that. They put on a good performance. There is someone out there in the acting profession. So it's kind of interesting. And with that Seven of Discs card of assessment, we've got the Two of Swords. We come into the twos here, we make a decision. We've got two swords though. It's tricky. And we're supposed to kind of think, well, I'm not basing this choice on anything that I see. It's got to come from somewhere else, but my head, like my thoughts are racing around in all sorts of directions here. It's a tricky card sometimes, the Two of Swords. So, Scorpio, it's a very unusual reading. I would expect nothing less from you. Now, some things, as the very last card says, the Moon, some things we do not see. And it is only a matter of time before those things we don't see are illuminated, whether it's in regards to something on the outside, more importantly, in regards to something on the inside. On that note, let us look, Scorpio, at, can we just have a Brian Froud Pixie and Fairy card? We get the Scorpio card, which is the Dark Mother, a Dark Lady. It's a very deep, we're going deep here. We've got Is there a few? It's a mysterious kind of reading. We've got some secrets here. We get right down to like the pinnacle of extreme experience in this card. And rock, mineral, crystal you can carry with you, Scorpio, during the week if you haven't got any, is blue kyanite. Connecting with animals, yes. Telepathic abilities, finding your true path, and finding clarity. Blue kyanite is, I often think of it like a kind of spinal column rock stone, because it kind of relates to the energy centers in your body as well. It's it's a beautiful stone. On that note, Scorpio, well, I hope you got something out of it, out of this reading today. And do check out your ascendant, if you know what that is, and your moon especially, considering that we got that moon at the end. So if you have a moon in Scorpio, what am I talking about? If you've got a moon in Scorpio and you're not a Scorpio, check out this reading. Well, you won't, will you? Because you won't have seen it yet, and I'm speaking on it. Anyway, it's late in the day. So, Scorpio, have a wonderful week, and hopefully we'll see you next time round. Take good care. Ka kite from Aotearoa. Cheery now. Bye-bye.